Oh, this one's gonna be again about the Icarus Deception by Seth Godin. It's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be cool, so please stay here and give me a like. Please do this. And with that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. I'm here, your host, Christopher Walch. I'm happy to be here and I'm happy to go through this episode with you. On my back or something. No, yeah. As we can see in the screen, on the left side of the screen, we are having here just another text or another part of the text. I've actually went through it already beforehand so that I know what I'm going to talk about. And there's actually some really cool and interesting stuff there. I'm going to be a little tiny bit slower. I try to at least. I try to not exhaust myself. I try to just not kill myself by not breathing. By the way, breathing. Wim Hof. I've tried it out. Actually, there is a free app. I could show you. I know there is a free app, and I think it is just a really amazing one, a pretty interesting one as well, that really can help you with the whole Wim Hof breathing thing. So if you don't know Wim Hof, he's the Iceman, and he's holding quite several world records. One of them is swimming underwater until his retina bursts, which actually kind of happened. Like, it didn't burst, but it froze. Which is actually a pretty scary thing, and I do wonder if there's not like just some long-term issues that you can have with a frozen retina, basically. But I'm gonna show you the app. So he's actually having some kind of a program, so quote-unquote program, which consists of you're gonna have breathing exercises, then you're also having the cold exposure, and then you're also gonna have commitment, as they say. And I do think in the quote-unquote original one, so what you're going to do in a workshop with him, basically, there's going to be some kind of meditation, even though I do believe that the whole breathing thing is also like meditation. Please check out the description, or that description, actually, because there's a lot of free things that you can get. First of all, there is the link to the podcast, because this is actually a podcast and a YouTube quote-unquote show. On the other hand, you're also going to get 3 things, as I said. For example, the free PDFs of the things that I've highlighted in this episode or in other episodes. If I've highlighted something, then it is going to be in a tiny PDF. You can download it and print it and share it and do whatever with it. And there is everything in this that I've gone through in this episode, which is pretty amazing because some people like to listen, therefore we're having a podcast. Some people like to watch, therefore we're having the YouTube videos. And some other people like to read things. And this is why there's also the free PDF. And there's as well some music, so if you do want to have some background music in this video, then please also check out the 3rd link, or it's actually, I think, the 4th link, but 3rd section, something like that. And there's also just different tracks to choose from, and they're all, I think, an hour long, so you should be fine. Everything should be fine, should be good to go. And yeah, enjoy the episode, and I'm gonna see you. But here you have it. This is basically like a timer. I hope you can see that. It is a timer, and it shows you the intervals and or the speed you should have when you're breathing. And I think it is actually pretty cool since you know how long you have to do it, because if you always have to count and if you always have to just keep in mind how long it is going to take you and whatnot, then it could be like a pretty not good thing, because it's more attention than on counting rather than breathing itself and whatnot. And it was something that bothered me quite a bit. Therefore, I think this is a pretty cool thing, and I have tried it out. And I am going to try it out, and I really hope that I'm going to stick to it for a little bit of time, you know, because it gave me quite a lot of health benefits back in the days. And I've actually also done it before I went to Amsterdam with class, because I was a little tiny bit ill, a little tiny bit fucked. And I thought, well, I'm going to do it, I'm going to stick to it, and I'm going to make that and see whether this is helping me or not. And I think it actually helped me quite, you know, because there's a lot of things that he claims that it is doing. Better immune system, being able to just activate your immune system kind of consciously, which was also shown in the study. I might be also talking about this later on as well, because today is actually about the Icarus Deception and about Wim Hof. So yeah, we're gonna talk about the Icarus Deception. Let's see. I'm gonna start reading. Relax. I know. The difficult part of seeing is setting aside what you're sure you already know. When the web was young, I was already an quote-unquote expert. And I think that's actually a really dangerous thing to to think that you are an expert, or to think that you have figured it all out, or you think that you're kind of the best and whatnot. Like, of course, there might be some reasons why you think that, because you might actually be the best in sports and whatnot. But there might be some day where you feel a little bit stupid because you always thought that, and there was something that you haven't seen, and there was something that you haven't recognized, but it is something that's really important maybe, and also just really an advantage over other people not knowing about this and stuff. So I don't know. Like, I am also good at some things, but I think there's still just so much to see and so much to learn, and just actually, as such, learning to see and learning to recognize things is just an incredible fucking thing. But I think I've been actually talking about it, like, it must have been like this week or something. I feel like. I'm not sure, but I feel like. You can't accurately see until you abandon your worldview. Is it actually alright? Oh, it's this one. Your worldview is incredibly useful in everyday life. It's the set of assumptions, biases, and beliefs you bring to the interactions you have with the world, and it saves a lot of time, because you don't have to come to new conclusions after each interaction. It is easier to process familiar inputs and easier to be consistent. But your worldview, by its nature, keeps you from seeing the world as it is. A lifetime spent noticing begins to turn into the ability to see what others can't. And I have to point out that Seth Godin is actually doing a really great job at that, because he truly is recognizing a lot of things, and he truly is just seeing a lot of things, which is pretty cool. And I have to say, and I think, and so on, that he's definitely a contribution, and was a contribution to my life, and still is, and probably to a lot of other people, because he's seeing a lot, because he's noticing the patterns, because he's just recognizing things that other people don't recognize. And something that he said in a video, and I think I've actually also gone through it as a video, but I'm not quite sure, actually, is to... no, I think it's actually... I've actually done this on my own, I guess. The thing is, we should all blog, or have a podcast, or do whatever. Because the thing is, if you're having a podcast or a blog, you have to think about whatever you're gonna write. And maybe there's gonna be one day you think like, well, tomorrow I have to do something. Tomorrow I have to record the podcast. Tomorrow I have to just blog, whatever it might be. And then you might think, well, I don't really know what to write about tomorrow. Therefore, you're probably then going to start thinking, well, what could I just try out tomorrow? What could I write about tomorrow? What could I talk about tomorrow? And you might just then kind of open your eyes and see certain things that other people don't see. Because you have to recognize things, maybe. Because you, because you need something to talk about. Because you need something to write about. I think it is a good practice. And I think it is just in general a really incredibly good thing. Because being able to communicate in a clear way your thoughts is amazing and important and necessary. I would even say, like, the clearer you can communicate your ideas and your dreams and whatever you're thinking about, the better. Obviously, kinda, yeah. But because if you can let other people understand whatever the fuck is in your head, then it just makes a lot of things easier. You know, if you're in a meeting, which per se is like maybe not the optimal setting for things in general, but if you're in a meeting and you can communicate whatever you think about just really clearly so that other people can also just picture a picture in their mind, then it is a good thing, because you can help them just to see things and kind of maybe also recognize things by communicating whatever you think about in a really clear way. Successful people are good at labeling people and situations and ideas. The problem with labels is that once they are applied, it is impossible to see what lies beneath. When the world changes, then our labels cease to function. We are blind to opportunities. Yes, I know, because cigarettes are good. This might have been actually a label back in the days. Like, back in the days where smoking was cool. It might still be, I don't know. But smoking was cool and smoking was accepted. Smoking was like the thing that everybody did. And so everybody thought like, well, it is gonna be, I think actually that nobody actually thought about how unhealthy it can be or how unhealthy it is. Well, let's say actually can be, because I mean, like, some people just don't have a problem with it. Some people never ever get a problem with smoking, which is interesting, which is good for them, of course. Even though I don't know how good they would actually feel without smoking. Like, this is then another question to think about. But nowadays it's completely different. We all know how fucking bad it is. So if you've labeled it as something that's good and you're sticking to it, then yeah, difficult and problematic and bad, because you're consciously doing something all the time that's not good for you. Quite, but just besides that, I don't really know who is really thinking that. I don't really know who's really just still sticking to that. I mean, there might be some people, never say never. But yeah, but I do believe that the majority of the people just know how bad it is. So yeah, artists learn to see all over again. They learn to forgo labels and bring the fresh instead. Art is the act of pointing a light at the darkness. If people are listening to or watching or buying something and you don't get it, inquire as to why. Learn to see through their eyes. Wait. If people are listening to or watching or buying something and you don't get it, inquire as to why. Learn to see through their eyes. Yes. I think this is an incredible one. Like, really good one, because most often on TikTok, I feel like there is a video and I just don't get it. I really then feel pretty old. Really fucking old. I'm fucking 19 and I feel just amazingly fucking old because I don't fucking get what the point there is. Like, I'm seeing a video and I just try to think of something. I think it's actually also been today. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, just something. And actually, a lot of people liked it as well, and it's probably also gotten a lot of views and stuff. But I don't know why. I really didn't get it, and it happens to me relatively often when I'm on TikTok. Might be because like the audience there is just really young compared to all the other mediums that I am on, like Instagram and YouTube and stuff. I don't know. I think the just average person there is, I don't know, in their 20s to 30s or something, probably. So I might there be just a young gun. Quite. Could be. But really just trying to see things through other people's eyes is an incredible thing. To just also understand the whole world. Why are people doing this? Why is she saying that? Why is he saying that? Why maybe is he saying that? Because in the end we just don't know, but we can think of reasons. I don't necessarily say that or want to say that these are then going to be right and the truth and stuff, but yeah. The goal is to have so many patterns. The goal is to have so many pattern rules and so many labels and be aware of so many worldviews that they swirl together and allow you to become a naive all over again. To be naive is to abandon your hard-earned worldview. Hard-earned worldview. It means seeing the world without prejudice and accepting it as it is, as opposed to the way you're expecting it to be. As I'm thinking about it, I'm having to think about my maths exam. Because most often when I'm having a maths exam, I tend to, I think, maybe overanalyze things. Thinking like, well, it could be this, but it could also be that, because I can imagine this being like the right answer. In terms of like okay, like you could also do that. You could also do this. You could also do this thing and that thing when circumstances are in this and that way. Like, this could actually be kind of a negative thing about just having so many worldviews and having to just, I don't know what it actually is. I don't also want to say that it is somehow good, and I also, which is something that I often do want to point out, I do not want to say that I'm kind of just Jesus and am empathetic as fuck and shit. No. But something that I just had to think about, yeah, then I really think like, well, am I too dumb since I can't filter the things? Or is it like really, okay, I just see too many opportunities in too many ways and worldviews and stuff and shit and whatnot, so I don't know. Let's go ahead. Everyone should learn to code, which is actually something that I've also tried to do, like Python, and back in the days it's been Lua, I guess. I don't know if it is actually Lua programming. Like, I've actually been just making a calculator, I guess, back in the days, and it's actually been on my phone, as funny as it is. Lua almost ready. 5.4, the programming language. About. Let's see. Lua is a powerful, efficient, lightweight, embeddable scripting language. It's procedural programming, object-oriented programming, functional programming, data-driven programming, and data description. Lua combines simple procedural syntax with powerful data description constructs based on associative arrays and extensible semantics. So as far as I remember, it's actually been a relatively easy one since things make sense. But of course, like if you're just really good at C# and shit, then or C++, then you're also gonna say like, okay, it makes sense. What's in a name? Lua, pronounced Loa, or it's actually Loa, means moon in Portuguese. As such, it is neither an acronym nor an abbreviation. More specifically, Loa is the name of the Earth's moon. Well, yeah, anyway. I might actually have a look at it once again. So if you do want to start with something, maybe you're going to start with Lua, maybe you're going to start with Python, which is also a relatively easy one, even though you can do quite a lot of shit with it. Scratch is also another software or program, which is I'm going to show you. It's basically like a game, some sorta, a programming game. So you're going to have different modules and you can stick them together and then you're having a code basically. So you also do not really have to write something, you just have to stick things together. Yeah, there it is. It seems a little bit childlike in things, but I think you can also make just some pretty interesting things there. I don't know, like I assume. Coming back to the other thing. Everyone should learn to code. Once you know how to make something, it changes how you see things. Once you know how to assemble an electronic device, every computer seems a bit less mysterious. Once you know how to give a speech, you see things in the speeches others give. Learning how to make things turn you from a spectator into a participant. Yes, definitely. I think in the whole design space, like, I don't know, like colleagues of mine, or one colleague of mine in particular, shout out to you, always looking up the font that anyone is using. In terms of like going onto the website and just when there's a cool font that he sees, he's gonna analyze it, like right click, inspect, or whatnot, however it is, just, yeah, it's inspect probably, and having a look at the font, just to know. And yeah, once you're an insider, you're seeing things in a different light, and you see people doing certain things. Maybe they're actually doing multiple things, and doing quite a lot of things is something that's pretty good, because you're gonna see more things, just because you do more things, and you are a participant or a maker or a creator or a whatnot. Yeah. Useless questions. What should I do next? The answers don't matter at all. You need the experience of repeated failure. You need a good taste to see your own work for what it is, and you earn that taste. Not only not by emulating those who made art before you, but by failing, by repeatedly discovering what works and what doesn't. Bob Dylan knows more about the history of American music than anyone you have ever met. Fred Wilson can describe the details of 1,000 successful venture investments. This is an important foundation that makes it possible to do important work. And we all should do important work. But yeah, have I had the question of today yet? I think I haven't. So let's do it now. The question of today is, do you ask yourself useless questions? And or let's put it into a different light, because it is so just, I don't know, just copying out of this what I've just read. What should you maybe start doing, but you always thought like, well, I can't do it, and I shouldn't do it, and I don't have the time to do that? What is it? Think about it, please. And yeah, it's also going to be the end of the episode there. So I really have to thank you for being here and for being with me and for going through this with me. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So I wish you the best health, wealth, happiness, and also success. And also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person. And yeah, with that being said, 3 other questions that I'm having for you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea. Yeah. Thank you very much from the bottom of my fucking heart. And I'm hopefully going to see you the next time. So, bye-bye.